today I'm going to do a video on the new PerfectionismPrints morning and evening routine inserts. And so, first of all, I have the routine inserts in my compass section. And if you want to see how I organize my planner, you can go ahead and check out the planner flip that I did a couple of months ago, which is still pretty consistent with how everything is set up. So my routines are in my compass section. And today I have blank pages so that I can show you what they look like and how I'm going to set them up. When you buy the insert from my shop, you'll receive both the morning and evening routine insert in the size of your choice. And as always, you'll receive a version that contains crop marks in case you want to print on letter or A4 size paper and then cut them out. And the other option is to have the paper sized for your actual planner insert size in case you want to print to pre-cut paper like Handy Forms paper, and I have a video about that I'll link below. I did add a little bit of color to these inserts just to kind of try something new. And so the morning routine is kind of this sagey green color, and then the evening is like a lilac. But if you don't like the color, you can easily print these out in grayscale, and then you'll have black and white, and then this line will show up as gray. I also give you the option to have the year or not have the year. So there's another file that you'll receive that doesn't have the year on here, so you can use it whenever. I've been looking for ways to improve my productivity because when I was setting goals for 2021, I actually noticed that I was setting a lot of the same goals that I've been setting for the last few years. Goals like lose weight, work out more, cook more at home, get more involved in church, things like that. So all of these things I find myself going back to every year because I never quite get to where I want to with those goals. And I think there's a lot of reasons for that, and I can do another video on what stands in the way of us achieving our goals and making progress on our goals. But one thing that I really wanted to focus on this year when I was setting these goals, which are worthy goals to set, is what's going to be different this year. I mean, the goal's the same, but if I approach it from the same perspective and if I just keep trying the same things, I mean, Albert Einstein says that's the definition of insanity, is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. One thing that I really kind of honed in on for 2021 is I want to work on building routines and habits. And I've been reading the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, and this book has been really eye-opening to me. And one of the things he talks about in that book is called habit stacking. And habit stacking is basically pairing a string of things that you want to get done all together in a row, maybe with something that you're already doing, to kind of help to cement that routine in and make it like second nature after a while. So for instance, if every morning you get up and you brush your teeth, you can start adding things on to that routine. Like instead of just getting up and brushing your teeth and then looking at your phone for 10 minutes, you can intentionally work on getting up, brushing your teeth, and then doing a morning Bible study or a morning meditation. And after a while, you'll be able to do those things together like second nature. And every time you brush your teeth, it will feel natural to go ahead and do a Bible study. So it's all about trying to make the things that you want to get done every day as easy and automatic as possible, because we do things by habit all the time. I mean, whether you have a morning routine planned out or an evening routine planned out right now, you have a morning and evening routine. Even if you don't do the exact same things every day, I'm sure you can think of things that you do every morning and every evening, and some of them may be helpful things and some of them may not be helpful. So I guess my point is, I think it's important to be intentional about those habits that we're forming and practicing. And so that was the thinking behind making these inserts. So Before I wrote a list in my phone, and then I'm going to copy that list into my planner, which may seem kind of redundant, but my routine is get up, look at my planner to this page, and then make my bed and go about my day. So I'm really trying to make sure that I have this visually accessible, but I also think it's helpful to put it in your phone too, so that you have it both places, because you may not have your planner on you 100% of the time, and you may not have your phone on you 100% of the time, or you may not want to look at your phone first thing in the morning, because then you might get distracted and start doing a bunch of stuff that is not going to be very productive. One feature of these inserts is I made multiple columns, because usually our routines are not exactly the same every day. We may have different routines for weekdays and weekends, or we may have different routines for when we wake up early versus when we're running late and rushing out the door. And so I think it's helpful to plan for those things in advance. And that's why I give you multiple columns. You can print this on the front and back. So, I mean, you could have like 4 different versions of a routine, or 2, you could do the morning routine on this side and the evening routine on this side, or whatever you want to do. So the first thing I'm going to do is label this. So one column I'm going to say work days, and the other I'm going to say weekend. Now you'll notice there is a column here over on the left side of each of these larger columns, and you could use this as a checkbox, but I mean, generally this is going to be something that you're referencing every day. You're not going to be writing out a new one every day. So I actually intended for it to be used as either a place to put the time that you intend to do this, to do each task at, or you could use it as opposed to putting like 6 a.m., you could put the amount of time that each task is going to take you. The way that I'm going to do it on here is I'm going to put the time of day right here, and then in parentheses, I'm going to put the amount of time that I anticipate each task is going to take. All right, so I'm building in one snooze. Snooze is, I'm sure, a controversial thing, but I really like my snooze button. And if I build it into my routine, then I don't feel bad about hitting the snooze. At that point, it's something I'm time budgeting for, and it's okay. But I just personally am not somebody who likes to have the alarm go off and then have to get up right away. And I'm sure there are some of you out there who feel very strongly that you should not hit the snooze at all. And that's fine. I just personally have a really hard time doing that. So I'm trying to recognize that about myself and work with it, as opposed to setting up some sort of unrealistic expectation that I'm never going to hit my snooze button. I think making your bed is really key for just kind of setting the tone of your day. I don't feel as good if I don't make my bed in the morning. It just makes everything seem more messy and discombobulated. And so I really like to make my bed in the morning. It really makes a big difference to me. So you can put different levels of detail down as you're making this. I mean, I'm like writing out here, specifically putting my contacts in and brushing my teeth. And you may think that that's like really basic and not something that you have to write down to remember. I'm mainly just writing it down, not because I'm going to forget about it if I don't write it down, or at least I hope I wouldn't, because I wouldn't be able to see. I mean, you guys, I'm very, very, very nearsighted. I think my prescription is like a -7 in one eye and a -750 in the other. So that's really, really bad myopia. JM is Joyce Meyer. I listen to Joyce Meyer's podcast every morning when I'm getting ready for work. So if you don't know, Joyce Meyer is a televangelist in the best sense of the word. She gives practical, everyday advice through a Christian lens. And I just feel so encouraged when I listen to her in the morning. And again, it really sets the tone of my day. I would definitely recommend checking out Joyce Meyer. This is important. I got this idea from Emily Lay of Simplified Planner. Add margin into your routines. Whether you're doing time blocking as just part of your daily planning or planning out a routine like this, things come up, okay? And one of the most stressful things is having to scramble around at the last minute and rush out of the house. Give yourself some margin. I'm giving myself 10 minutes of wiggle room here. So if I have something come up, it doesn't have to derail my entire morning routine and leave me rushing out the door or late to work. I have time to spend a couple extra minutes cuddling with my kids, or time to spend a little bit of extra time on my hair that morning if I want. Margin is really important. On work days, I like to do my Bible study once I'm in the office because I find that I'm able to focus a lot better when I'm sitting at my desk and I'm already at work. For some reason, it stresses me out when I try to do it at home, maybe because there's screaming children in the background. Go figure. So I like to get in early. I mean, I'm not on the clock until 7:30. My first patient is at 7:30 every day. And I don't spend a ton of time on it. I think it's more about the quality of the time than the quantity of the time sometimes. Always make time to plan your day. All right, so this is just a really basic routine. I mean, I'm not getting into anything fancy here. This is mainly just a way to make sure that I'm managing my time well in the morning, that I'm having an intentional plan. So I put my morning and my evening routine on my habit tracker. Like I can't check it off on the habit tracker unless I've gone through the entire routine. So that's been really motivating for me. And I've noticed a huge improvement in not just my productivity, but also just my attitude and my state of mind going into the day when I have been having an intentional routine that I've been carrying out. Okay, so I wrote out the weekend routine off camera just so it went a little bit faster. It's essentially the same as my workday routine, except that I add in working out and taking some time to snuggle with my boys. And then I like to start laundry and do a longer Bible study on the weekend. Now, I have a 10-month-old and a 4-year-old. So does this always get done exactly like this in this order with these exact times? No, it doesn't. And I understand that going in. And so I tend to have a lot more flexibility for my weekend routine than I do for my weekday routine. And I just mainly try to hit all of these elements, even if I don't do them in order, or if they take more or less time than I'm anticipating. But the main thing is to know what it is that I want to do, what it would look like on an ideal morning, and how much time everything is going to take. And now I just realized I didn't add my times in, so let me do that. So now I've added my times in, and there you go. All right, so that's all I wanted to do in this video is just kind of show you these inserts and how I use them, kind of go over my morning routine right now. Let me know if you guys do want me to do another video on my evening routine. I can do that if you'd like. It's not too exciting, but if it's useful to you, I'm happy to do it. Let me know your morning routine. I know some of you are really ambitious and do things like the, what's it called? The miracle morning, or you do crazy things like take cold showers every morning. And I have mad respect for you if you do that. I'm not quite there yet. I'm just working on trying to wake up at the same time every day. Some of you might balk at seeing I wake up at 5 o'clock on the weekends, but I have a secret for you. Whether I wanted to wake up at 5 on the weekends or not, I would be, because my kids are usually up around that time. So anyway, I just wanted to show you these inserts. You can find these in my Etsy shop, PerfectionismPrints, and I will link all of the sizes down in the description below. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you next time.